Hello and welcome back to Money Gist from the Central Bank. This is where you get all the updates from the topmost monetary authority. I'm Emisi Dada. Imagine this. You check your phone and you see a debit alert. 50 naira here, 100 naira there, and you're just wondering, what exactly did my bank charge me for this time? Now, that frustration, that's exactly what the Central Bank of Nigeria is trying to fix. Because the CBN has released a draft guideline on bank charges for 2026, and if it eventually takes effect, it could change how Nigerians pay for banking completely. Let me show you how. Under this new draft, some of the basic things you do with your bank account could become totally free. Opening your bank account, free. Closing it, also free. Even your monthly bank statement, something many banks used to charge for, completely free. Now think about transfers. Right now, those small charges add up. But with the new guide, sending 5,000 naira or less could cost you nothing. And even when you send higher amounts, the charges are now strictly capped. So banks can't just deduct anything they like. Then ATM withdrawals, if you use your own bank's ATM, you pay nothing. If you use another bank's ATM, yes, there's still a charge, but now it's clearly defined, no surprises. And here is where it gets even more interesting. That situation where your account is empty but you're still seeing charges, this draft says that shouldn't happen anymore. Banks will only charge you based on the money you actually have. No hidden deductions, no extra interests piling up. Loans too, instead of confusing fees everywhere, banks must now show you the full cost upfront using something called annual percentage rate. In simple terms, what you see is what you pay. And guess what? Some charges are even marked as negotiable, meaning you can actually talk to your bank and agree on what you pay. In addition, there's a long-term plan that by next year, some fees like current account maintenance could be completely removed. But remember, this is still a draft guideline. It's not final yet. So banks are not required to fully follow it, at least for now. CBN Governor Olayemi Cardoso says diaspora remittances are now a key pillar of Nigeria's foreign exchange stability, not just extra inflows. Speaking in Washington, D.C. at the end of the IMF World Bank spring meetings, he explained that Nigeria is deliberately building its external buffers around steady money sent home by Nigerians abroad. According to him, remittances are now part of the country's core forex framework, helping to support reserves in a more volatile global economy. He noted that Nigeria currently receives about $600 million monthly in diaspora inflows, with a target to grow this to $1 billion per month by the end of the year. Cardoso stressed that despite recent fluctuations in external reserves, Nigeria's fundamentals remain strong and buffers are still above international adequacy levels. He also addressed public concern over reserve movements, saying the system is transitioning and what is being seen is not structural weakness. He highlighted ongoing reforms such as improved payment systems, expansion of international money transfer operators, and efforts to bring more diaspora transactions into official channels, including resolving BVN-related bottlenecks. He added that in the new FX framework, diaspora inflows are helping to stabilize demand, reduce pressure on the naira, and strengthen overall market confidence. In his words, remittances are now becoming a backbone of Nigeria's economic resilience. The CBN has pulled about 2.8 trillion naira out of the banking system in just 1 week, and it's a big deal. Here is what's happening. The CBN sold Nigerian Treasury bills, NTBs, and open market operations, OMO bills, to banks and investors, meaning they collected cash from the system, reducing how much money is in circulation. This is because too much money in the system can drive inflation. When more cash is chasing fewer goods, prices go up. It also affects the dollar rate. When banks and investors have excess naira, they often rush to buy dollars, putting pressure on the foreign exchange market and weakening the naira. So by tightening liquidity, the CBN is trying to reduce demand for dollars and stabilize the currency. Here's the breakdown. About 894 billion naira came from treasury bills and 1.9 trillion naira from OMO auctions. Even after this massive withdrawal, the system still had about 4 trillion naira in liquidity, meaning banks could still meet their obligations. Meanwhile, interest rate still remains high, around 22%, showing money is tighter but not scarce. The main gist here is that the CBN is keeping a tight grip on money supply, trying to fight inflation, support the naira, and calm the FX market. But with global tensions rising and dollar demand still strong, the pressure isn't over yet. The CBN says it is stepping up efforts to build a stronger and more resilient economy that supports the dreams and aspirations of Nigerians. That's according to the Deputy Governor for Corporate Services, Ms. Osoro, at the combined 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th convocation ceremonies of Akwa Ibom State University, where she also received an honorary Doctor of Business Administration degree. She explained that the CBN has introduced key reforms and systems designed to stabilize the economy, improve exchange rate performance, and support overall economic growth. According to her, the bank is working closely with the federal government to align monetary and fiscal policies. She said this collaboration has helped improve macroeconomic stability and is gradually creating a more inclusive economy. Usore added that the CBN remains committed to supporting education, announcing plans to assist the university with funding for academic and research development. She also encouraged graduates to embrace lifelong learning, remain curious, and stay focused despite challenges, especially advising women not to be limited by societal barriers. The Central Bank of Nigeria is pushing a new focus on data as a key driver of industrial growth and economic transformation. At a financial journalism lecture in Lagos, the CBN, represented by its Director of Statistics, Usman Moses Okmanachi, said Nigeria must invest more in strong data infrastructure to boost raw materials development and strengthen local industries. He explained that poor data collection systems and weak analytics have made it harder for manufacturers and policymakers to plan effectively, leading to continued dependence on imported inputs. According to the CBN, reliable data will help investors, producers, and government agencies make better decisions on production, supply chains, financing, and risk management, especially in agriculture and manufacturing. The bank also reaffirmed its commitment to partnering with key institutions to promote innovation and improve access to credible economic information. At the event, stakeholders also backed a proposed 30% value addition policy aimed at encouraging local processing of raw materials to create jobs, increase exports, and grow Nigeria's industrial base. Nigeria is stepping up the fight against electronic fraud, and this time, your phone number is at the center of it. The Nigerian Communications Commission and the Central Bank of Nigeria have teamed up to launch a new system that allows banks to track suspicious phone lines in real time. This follows the signing of a major agreement between both regulators aimed at tightening security across Nigeria's digital financial space. At the heart of this move is a new platform called the Telecoms Identity Risk Management System, also known as TIRMS, TAMS. So what does this actually do? TAMS gives banks instant access to the status of any phone number linked to a transaction. That means they can now see if a number has been swapped, recycled, disconnected, or flagged for suspicious activity. Why does this matter? It matters because many fraud schemes today rely on mobile numbers, from SIM swap fraud to fake alerts and account takeovers. With this system, banks can detect red flags faster and potentially stop fraudulent transactions before they happen. Speaking at the launch, NCC boss Aminu Maida described the initiative as a major step forward, especially as phone numbers are now key to identity and financial access in Nigeria. On the other side, CBN Governor Olayemi Kaduso says this partnership will also improve innovation, regulatory coordination, and consumer protection. Similarly, the Central Bank of Nigeria has issued a fresh warning to the public over rising cases of fraudulent messages and cyber attack attempts targeting citizens. In a statement released by the bank's spokesperson, Hakama Sidi Ali, the Apex Bank said it has observed an increase in fake emails, text messages, and online communications falsely claiming to originate from the CBN. According to the bank, these messages are designed to mislead the public by spreading false information about its leadership, policies, and operations, while also attempting to trick recipients into clicking malicious links. The CBN warned that such links can compromise personal data, including banking details, and give fraudsters unauthorized access to accounts. To stay safe, the bank advised Nigerians to avoid clicking on suspicious links or sharing sensitive information on unverified websites. It also emphasized the importance of confirming all official communications through its verified website and recognized media platforms. The CBN further urged to members of the public to report any suspected fraudulent messages, emails, or websites to law enforcement authorities. The bank reaffirmed its commitment to protecting the financial system and said it is working closely with relevant agencies to strengthen cybersecurity and combat digital fraud. So, which of the stories resonate with you? Do you want the bank charges draft guideline implemented? Do you send or receive foreign exchange from the diaspora, thereby helping to stabilize the naira? Or do you like the idea of banks being able to track suspicious phone lines and flag suspicious transactions? Share your view in comments below. And that's all the money gist from the central bank at this time. I am Oluyemisi Dada. Remember to turn on your notification bell and be the first to get fresh updates on money policies that concern you. Like, subscribe, and share. See you in the next video.